How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Mullen Automotive. If you guys remember what I said in my previous video, if we continue to see weakness in the stock, we could test support around $1.35. We got down to $1.34. So going into tomorrow, I want to make sure you guys are prepared. You have an idea of what to expect. I'm not a psychic. I'm just giving you guys some levels. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, we want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Mullen. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $1.41, being down 16.57%. On the low, it tested $1.34, and then on the high, testing $1.67. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 107.183 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 82.684 million shares. So we did have above average volume on the day, but you could see we had a pullback into stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 34.55. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 50-day. So it is clear to see that Mullen is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages. And if you guys remember what I said in the previous video, don't be shocked if you see Mullen getting all the way down to $1.35. We actually tested a low of $1.34. So we came right off of that support and we're able to close at $1.44. So if you want to see strength in Mullen going into tomorrow, maybe you might be catching this video the day of, you need to see some price action at least above the 50-day and then it making a move to the 21-day EMA. And this is around $2.24. So this will definitely be a lot to ask, and that's why you need buying pressure coming into this play. If we continue to see some weakness, then the next area of support that you want to look out for to see if it holds up, you got that right here at $1. So I would be watching to see if bulls want to step in and start buying this stock up if it breaks through that 134 floor. And if it decides to consolidate, then you want to see some strength above $1.30 and see if it can make that potential move, whether it be Friday or next week, here to the 50-day right here at $1.84. So it'll be very interesting to see what Mullen does. So now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Mullen. As we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So taking a look at the recent filings for April the 20th, we have Belvedere trading with two different positions. They went in with puts with a value of 123,100 shares and also went in with some calls with a value of 63,600 shares. And as you can see, there have also been some recent changes from Koshinki Asset Management Inc. that reduced their value by 33.33%. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 41.63%, and then for the off-exchange short volume being just over 15.62 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 26 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 33.35%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 18th, it is at 51.18, and then for the close of the 19th being at 41.63. So that is a significant decrease right there, but when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float, it's at 15.49%. So what this shows us, Mullen does have short squeeze potential, but we need buying pressure coming into the play. Now let's go on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Mullen. So we see here on the inflow, it was at 26.75 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 26.77 million. So we ended up having an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 6.11 million. On the medium, it was 15.03 million, and then on the small, it was 5.61 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, on the large, it was 5.81 million. On the medium, it was 15.52 million, and then on the small, it was 5.44 million. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for April the 20th, it being an inflow of just over 300,000, and for the 19th being just over 467,000. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had some more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then taking a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 45.17%. So no surprises there. We already know that Mullen is a volatile stock. It has been dealing with a good amount of selling pressure as well. And since we know it is mainly owned by retail investors and we have traders going in and out of the play, that's why you want to make sure you have some sort of a strategy. So let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Mullen Automotive, for the price action, you want to see a strong move to the upside to $2.84. After $2.84, that's where we want to see how well it does at that psychological area right at $3. There could be some selling pressure, so that's why it is very important that we have bulls stepping in, more people coming in to buy the stock. We want to see demand inside of the market. We haven't been seeing that as of yet, especially since it has been pulling back to key levels. We talked about, hey, will bulls step in when it gets to filling in that gap at 179? We didn't see much of that. And I talked about in the previous video that we could possibly get down to around 135. We tested support at 134. So if 134 does decide to break, then we could possibly see a test of $1.16. So that is one thing that you want to be aware of. And if it breaks through 116, that's where you're going to want to see $1 actually hold up. But what is very interesting, and it's something that we can't ignore, taking a look at that order flow distribution, whales have been loading up while the stock has been pulling back heavy. So there could be two different scenarios here. So it's either A, they are building up on short positions, or they're buying into the stock. We're going to have to wait and see how this thing actually turns out. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see some activity from institutions. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, it does have short squeeze potential. No surprises there. It is substantial when it comes to the short borrow fee rate. And then also taking a look at the short volume, all we need is buying pressure in this play or a strong catalyst. If we have a strong catalyst, that's where I want to see Mullen going back to making that move to $3.50 and then essentially $4. For now, I am just not seeing it. There's no demand. And as far as all of the retail interest that it did have, I'm seeing it shift to other plays inside of the market. And we just have to see if it comes back into Mullen. And if you are holding a position, make sure that you have a strategy. If you're a long-term investor, of course, you want to take advantage of these dips. If you're looking for a swing trade and you want to take a position, just make sure that you're having your stop loss set to your desired risk tolerance. This is very crucial because it's going to be different for every individual. So let's see how this stock performs going into tomorrow. We did see Tesla did crush earnings. Will that give Mullen some fuel as far as for the EV sector? Who knows? I'll keep you guys updated and we'll be talking real soon.